अंधकार से अपने भीतर की ज्योति को जगाइए। अप्पो दीपो भव, इनर लाइट, सच्चा ज्ञान।
Every human being possesses a natural instinct to avoid pain, but over 2.5 millennia ago, King Shuddhodana attempted to build a world where his son would never have to face it. He designed this environment specifically for his newborn son, Siddhartha. Within the palace walls, the prince was surrounded entirely by luxury, deliberately shielded from any sight of aging, sickness, or sadness. This upbringing was built on a very specific premise: the assumption that accumulating enough wealth, pleasure, and physical comfort could serve as a permanent shield against human suffering. Yet this engineered utopia required strict boundaries to survive. It was an illusion entirely dependent on locking reality out. That illusion shattered the moment Siddhartha rode his carriage past the palace gates and into the dusty reality of the local streets. Here, he experienced a sudden exposure to the natural life cycle. He encountered an old man trembling on the road, followed closely by a villager dying of disease. The final blow came with the sight of a funeral procession. Watching a body wrapped in cloth, Siddhartha realized that death is an inescapable destination for every living being, regardless of royal blood. But amidst the panic of these discoveries, he witnessed a fourth sight: a meditating monk sitting calmly by the road. The monk's demeanor suggested that a state of tranquility could exist completely independently of external circumstances. Recognizing that his isolated upbringing offered no actual protection, Siddhartha rejected his royal status. At midnight, he secretly escaped the palace on horseback to find a genuine answer. He was now driven by a single question: if even a king has no defense against time and death, is there any way to actually live in peace? Siddhartha traded the silk curtains of his kingdom for the misty floors of the deep forest, shifting his lifestyle to the absolute opposite extreme. For years, he subjected himself to severe austerity. He practiced extended fasting and intense self-deprivation, pushing his physical body to the brink of starvation. This was the antithesis of his childhood, the theory that by punishing the physical body and denying all physical desires, he could forcefully liberate his mind. The method did not work. Siddhartha recognized that extreme physical deprivation was simply another form of physical obsession. He was left emaciated, weak, and no closer to an answer. We see the historical record of his turning point in ancient carvings like this one, depicting a village girl named Sujata. She offered the starving prince a bowl of milk rice, breaking his fast through everyday compassion. By accepting the meal, he recognized a crucial pattern. Neither absolute indulgence nor absolute self-destruction works. Both are traps that keep the mind rigidly bound to the physical world. Regaining his strength, Siddhartha sat beneath a large Bodhi tree. Even as a violent storm tore through the branches overhead, he made a vow not to rise until he uncovered why life was inseparable from pain. He committed to a path that rejected both extreme wealth and severe starvation. He called it the middle way. It is a precise point of balance situated exactly between two destructive forces of human behavior. Only by resting in this neutral center can a person achieve the mental clarity required to observe reality as it actually is. Beneath the branches of the Bodhi tree, a location preserved to this day, Siddhartha achieved his awakening. He realized that while physical pain and aging are unavoidable facts of life, psychological agony is an optional reaction. The solution to suffering does not require changing the external world. It requires a complete restructuring of how we internally react to it. Siddhartha, now known as the Buddha, or the Awakened One, left the forest. He traveled to Sarnath to explain what he had discovered to his first disciples. Looking at the ancient brick foundations excavated at Sarnath, we can see the massive, real-world footprint where these ideas first took root and began to spread. This perspective was soon tested against extreme external violence. A cruel bandit named Angulimala confronted the unarmed Buddha with a drawn sword in the forest. Instead of fighting or fleeing, the Buddha stood completely still. His unmovable internal peace completely disarmed Angulimala, breaking the bandit's cycle of violence purely through steady compassion. Enlightenment, therefore, proves to be highly active. It acts as a shield capable of neutralizing real-world hostility without generating further conflict. At the age of 80, the elderly Buddha prepared for his final passing. He faced the end of his life with absolute, unwavering tranquility. The massive presence of monuments like the Dhammik Stupa reflects how deeply these ideas took root, standing firm across centuries. The prince's journey suggests that peace isn't found in building walls or in self-punishment. It is strictly an internal realization.